wish I was joking, but I'm not joking. You guys do not believe what's running around out here in my neighborhood. Kangaroo. You don't believe me? Look at this. All right, this kangaroo is hopping all around town, causing all kind of mischief, and I kid you not, the FWC is actually trying to get him. But today we're here to talk about the JRL Onyx clipper. All right. So real quick housekeeping. Shout out to Fort Worth Barber Supply, always taking care of me. They sent me the Cocos. They sent me pretty much all the stuff that you see on this wall that is not Gamma or Stylecraft comes from Fort Worth Barber Supply. Great company that reinvests in education, and they really got some awesome people working there, and they really know their stuff. So if you guys want to get a little discount, check out the link down below. Use the code Eddie10, save 10% off anything that is not related to Gamma. What's up, you guys? Welcome back to the YouTube Barber Academy. Today we got the new JRL Onyx clipper. How does it compare to the old one? Is it actually any different? And is it worth your purchase? So we're gonna break this down. We're gonna figure out how it cuts, if we like it. So if you actually look behind me on this product wall, somewhere, there's a JRL, the original 2020C.
Where are you?
One of the things that's new here is this charger. You can actually reset the battery on this. If you're starting to have some battery depletion issues, something like that, I guess you're able to go ahead and reset that battery life with that charger. What we have on here is a little button, and I'm not 100% sure what the process is. Charging time is 2.5 hours, and it gets a 5-hour runtime. So when I got this out of the box, as soon as I turned it on to the first setting, because there's two settings, there's one, and then there's two. I slid it up to the first setting, and it said 5 hours of runtime. The moment I slid it up to the higher power setting, it said 4 hours of runtime. The previous one was 4 hours of runtime, and I have a barber here, Johan, he uses these all the time, and I was asking him, like, how's the battery life actually on that? Does it die? Stuff like that. Now, he's had that one since Fort Worth Barber Supply sent me the previous one. So that's probably about a year he's had that, and the battery degradation, it is there. It is there. He said it will definitely die. I asked him, do you ever use the slower switch on this? And if anybody down in the comments has one of these and uses this switch, do you ever put it on the slower speed? I found myself previously when I was working with this to constantly put it on the high power, like 1 horsepower. From what I can see, the moment I turn this on all the way, it seems like it's 4 hours of runtime. The battery's a little better, but the lever itself is definitely redesigned. I just went out there and I jacked Johan's like mid-cut. This thing's full of hair, everything. I want to show you guys the lever difference here. So this lever is a lot different. There's actually a lot of play in between the clicks. Like you can see how much I can move this lever before it hits the click. This one has no play in between the clicks. So it just goes through like normal. They are about identical in size.
You'll actually notice that it actually has a blade that's very similar to a Vapor blade. So if you kind of like the Vapor blade / fade blade, the new one might be for you. But the previous one has the taper blade, and out of the two blades, honestly, I really like the taper blade a little bit more.
The cutting blade looks exactly the same. So I guess if I was to look at this right now, I know that Fort Worth Barber Supply will sell you this one for $160 and this one's $200. Of course, you guys could always use the code Eddie10 and you can save 10% with Fort Worth Barber Supply. As far as I could see, even the charger looks to be about the same. So aesthetically speaking, it looks to be about the same clipper. Now, I remember people telling me they had trouble with this click lever before, so that's probably why they have redesigned it. The thing that concerns me a little bit is all this play in between the click. It's almost like, what's the point of the click if it has all that play? Or maybe it's a good thing. Maybe it's more like using a floating taper and a click lever at the same time. All right, I interrupt this program to bring you a special to give you a special news bulletin, an update on the kangaroo. So while I'm over here worrying about getting kicked in the jibs by some kangaroo, I actually just found out the whole story's fake. Apparently somebody was in Publix and they just said they seen a kangaroo, and all of a sudden all these people came out looking for it. Yo, how dumb are they? All right, back to the program. So one of the biggest complaints that I had about this machine, the previous one, was this little flange right here that seemed to be right where I held it, and it just kind of digs into your finger after a while. And this was really the only complaint I had about the machine. They've completely addressed this on the Onyx. There's actually a whole different piece here that actually raises your finger up a little bit higher, and you could hardly feel that flat spot. So if I look at these side by side, now that you know what you're looking for, that piece there, it is not present on the previous one. And I think for me, that makes this a much more ideal purchase because just the way it feels in the hand now compared to how it did, this is much better. The guards that come with this are not the nicest. In fact, I'll probably never use them. They have way too many teeth. If you guys check these out, there's just, you know, nothing really special about the guards. They're not magnetic. I'm sure they're secure enough and that they would get you by. But I would much prefer to use the Gamma Dubs, the Wall Premiums, or really any other higher end guards than these. I think it lifts the hair up better and it cuts the hair better. But if this is all you got, this will definitely work. So this motor here is supposed to be a rotary motor. And it's so damn quiet. Like, this has to be the most quiet rotary motor I've ever used. So if that's the case, that this really is a rotary motor, this is an awesome way that they were able to get whatever type of evil, darkness, black magic they were able to put into this to make this so quiet. I absolutely love it. Oh, and did I mention to you guys that I'm a huge fan of taper blades, especially one that can cut as close as this? The previous JRL clipper had one of my favorite taper blades that I've ever used, and I just found it super, super easy to work with. Yo, check out these new cakes from Gamma.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Love it.
Oh, that's awesome.
Except for I can't use that with a green screen. Or actually, I could. Watch. I'm going to green screen beach scene. Now we're cutting hair on the beach. Alright, you guys, so I'm actually using the Gamma Dubs with this. This will also fit the wall or any babeless guards. So let's give this thing a try. This is the first cut with the JRL Onyx. Got a whole lot louder when it hits the guard. But due to the play of the lever, and I was able to actually move that back just a tiny bit without actually switching to a different click. So I think that's kind of cool, actually. It seems to be cutting quite smooth. How's it feel for you?
Feels great.
How was it for you? Was that good? No. I don't feel like I gotta move slow. I feel like this is cutting beautiful with this hair. And already I could tell that little tab on the back that used to bother me, like, it's not bothering me at all because there's that nice new finger placement. It feels really comfortable in the hand now. It's still there, but it's not as aggressive as it was. Alright, you guys, let's head over to a Fade client and we'll catch you guys over there and we'll put this thing to the test a little further.
So my experience working with this particular new JRL blade was, for the most part, it was pretty good, but I did struggle a little bit with a couple different hair types. Like, I had a client earlier today, matter of fact, that it seemed like no matter what I did, it was kind of wrong, and I wound up having to fix it and finish it up with the ergos. So when I get right down to it, this is probably not my favorite personal blade. I still prefer the blade that was on the previous one, the actual taper blade, and I do think they have one of the best taper blades in the industry. They definitely did that correct. But by and large, this is a pretty enjoyable clipper to cut with, and I think that if you were a JRL fan or if you have the previous model, you're going to enjoy this one. If your time to upgrade is here, I mean, you know, by all means, grab it. But if you have the old one and it's still in pretty good shape, I mean, you might be able to get by with that one. And in a weird way, they may have made the first one too good that the second one is not different enough to make people jump. Let me know in the comments, man. Is this something that you guys are going to cop, or is this one that you guys are going to pass on?
All right, y'all. This is probably one of the thickest heads of hair that I do, and this is the new JRL, and we're going to give this thing a try and just see how well it cuts through the bulk. I have a number 4 on here, so let's see what it does. Sluices right through it. Nothing. Smooth. It's quiet. Fun to cut with. I'm moving pretty quick too. Alright, y'all, just for experiment's sake, if I just had the old one only, I just went out and stole Johan's. And something about this clipper, it does seem to kind of get cacked full of hair pretty easy. So let's try this real quick. I'm going to put this number 4 on here. And let's see if it's any different. This blade is probably a year old, And I do feel like a very minor difference, but nothing nothing major. Feels about the same, really. Try clipper over comb with the old one. No problem there. I don't know, it feels like a little smoother. Probably because of the blade, but really about the same. I don't see no purpose really in having the 2 speeds. I mean, but I could see that when I have it on speed 1, it's 4 hours, and if I move up to speed 2, it's 3 hours. I'm guessing they're basing that 5 hours of runtime off of the slower speed. Let's try doing it with the slower speed and see if that. Seems like it works fine on the lower speed too. Maybe we don't need all that horsepower all the time. Said no one ever. Alright, we're gonna do a little taper on him. I guess I'll use the new one on this side, I'll use the old one on the other side. So I got the taper closed.
So after I was talking with Johan a little bit, he's the other big JRL user in the shop. Actually, he's the only one who has been using it this long. And he said that he'd struggled with certain hair types too with that clipper as well. So I think it's not anything that I couldn't probably get used to and figure my way around it. And maybe it might include a little bit of finagling with the blade just to get things just right. But if there's any other JRL users out there that have went through this, drop a comment about it. I'm just curious if we're the only ones or maybe if you guys got some advice for us to make this cut better. But, you know, for the most part, this hair type, it rocked.
I tried experimenting with that lower speed. I can't say it really didn't seem to do anything negative or positive, really. Seemed about the same, really. I bet you if I used these every day, I'd probably wind up just using that lower speed because it just seems like it was easy enough. That's side 1. Let's try it with the older one, see if there's any difference.
There definitely did seem to be a little bit of a difference. And the more I've worked with this and the more I've experimented with this, I've really come to enjoy the forgiveness that I was getting from the taper blade. In fact, I did notice that this side, I know I sped the video up, you know, for time purposes, but this side came out a little bit quicker. I was done like almost instantly. I liked how it was starting to look. And I obviously messed with this a little bit more, but this side of the video was much shorter.
From a performance standpoint, I don't really see any difference between the new one and the old one, which can be looked at as a good thing because the old one was pretty good and so is the new one, or maybe it's looked at as a bad thing that, you know, you wanted to see something new. But I think aesthetically the improvements are there, and I think if you like JRL, if you like the previous models of JRL, you're probably really going to like this.
So yesterday when I was editing this video, I reached out to JRL and it turns out this is a rotary motor. It is confirmed. You're getting an extra 300 RPMs on the high motor setting. It is still 6,000 on the low motor setting. You're getting an extra hour of runtime. The battery refresh stand, that's part of it as well. And the aesthetically better case. So is it worth that extra money? You get $160 for the old one, $199 for the new one.
Yeah, I didn't even realize that I picked up the old one and I finished the taper with the old one. That's how similar they are. I just literally picked this one up and didn't even notice it.
I think there's actually enough here to justify buying the new one. However, I would probably keep the blade from the old one on the new one, and I would have something that would really suit my style. So just let me know what you guys think. What are you going to do? Are you guys going to go out and buy this? And are you JRL fans, or what's your #1 clipper?
So all in all, I'm going to just say this is a fantastic clipper, and I appreciate you guys for joining me. I appreciate you guys for stopping by the YouTube Barber Academy and checking this out. We also have the review coming on the Cocoa Clipper and the Cocoa Trimmer next. So with that being said, I'll catch you guys in the next video. Oh, and by the way, if you haven't seen this billionaire barber video, yeah, there's actually been a barber who turned into a billionaire. It's probably happened more than once. I don't really know. But this guy's story is kind of crazy, so I'll go check it out. And until then, I'll catch you guys later.